So it's MS number. Kevin MVC.
Boot rest, boot MS. Boot MS, boot MS. Where is that? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Admin.
Admin client. We are looking for admin server.
People 4.5 seen, sir.
Same. Good client version. Yes. Admin server web. Okay, open admin client.
Trying to.
Microservice.
People could differ, sir.
Yeah, anything, any consumer or producer. Anything fine. Web cloud starter config one. Give me 2 minutes, guys. Yes. Okay, open the cloud version 3.21. 1 minute. Yeah, that is right. Web we added.
Config.
Eureka client. Yes, required. Test actuator admin client. I think you got some extra starter. 1 minute. Web okay. Cloud config for config server. No?
Yes, sir.
Eureka client is there. Starter Tomcat. Spring Boot starter Tomcat. Test. Admin. What is there? Admin. Spring Boot admin starter client. Is there? I don't know.
One thing, sir, the error which are coming here, sir, please fully paste in the chat GPT, sir.
Then all. Let's see. Tomorrow will work out. I'll.
Jenkins problem, sir. After classes.
What's your Jenkins problem? I'll see at the end on tomorrow. Switch off the lights, guys. Regularly switch it off. Yes. File open. File open. Where is this? 717. Okay, tools na boss. Okay, fine. Tools FS 701. Where is this? Here is Docker. Yes, here is Docker. Open this. Okay. Okay, what I said? Once we develop the code, close the door, guy. We try to create multiple environments and we pack and release the code for multiple environment. One for, what is this? Development, one for testing, one for UAT, one for pre-prod, other one is prod, like this. Multiple environments we have taken are not there. Life without Docker, if Docker is not there for the above setup. Once project is developed, we need to execute in different setup. Generally sometimes pre-production is extra, total 5. Sometimes it may be 6 or 7 also. So creating those many setups on different what? Separate machines of network or different virtual machines of AWS, whatever it is a complex process or not, guys? So definitely it's a complex process. Suppose if Docker is not there in our control, then what happens, right? So try to understand the concept carefully, guys. DevOps team is responsible to keep these profiles or environment related machines ready to develop or test project in different environment. If Docker is not there, DevOps team needs to keep all profiles or environment very much ready manually, which is a complex process. Total how many machines they need to keep ready? 5 machines. 5 different environment, 5 missions. Why? Because same code wants to execute in 5 missions. So if Docker is not there, every mission should be kept ready manually or not there. It's looking like a boilerplate code na. Mission 1 install software, go to mission 2 install same software, go to mission 3 install software with minor changes, right? Though it is not boilerplate operation, but it looks like same boring work for what? The developer team or DevOps team, guys. So to overcome that problem, what has come? Docker has come. Docker says, while packing, don't pack the code. Pack code and environment. Pack what? Code and environment. Sometimes software company missions setups of development and test system integration may not match with what? Client organization mission setup, cloud or outside a cloud. We generally observe the following mismatches. Sometimes software company missions setup. Yeah. My code works very smoothly in software company. Released the same code, okay, to the client organization. Client organization also says I have same setup, but code is not running. One or other version mismatch, one or other what is there? Flavor mismatch. Or here I have 64-bit JDK, there I have got 32-bit JDK. Because of that, code is not running. Client says I have everything, why it is not running? We say no, something is gone wrong, but we cannot identify list till last minute. So lot of headaches will be there or not there. Suppose if software company says, don't worry client, I will give code and environment. You just keep Docker ready in your computer, okay? So that what? I am giving Docker container in which code and environment is packed. Execute the code, output will come. Execute the code, output will come. Are you getting my point? Super, guys. Tell me. Software company, Windows machines, Mac machines for development. Software company uses Windows or Mac machine for development, but client organization use what? Linux or Ubuntu machine. Mismatch may be there or not there. We cannot demand client organization in production also use Windows. Software company might have developed Java code using 11 setup, but client organization provides what? 8 setup. Software company might have used Oracle 11G. Client organization may provide what? 19C setup. And this kind of mismatches may happen or not there. Client says, I have Oracle. You asked Oracle, I installed Oracle. Which version? He asked to install JDK. Which version? So version also matching. Subversions may be not matching. Okay, subversions also matching, but bits are not matching. Where we developed is 64-bit, what is having 32-bit. All these headaches are there or not there, guys? Okay. All these indicates compatibility issues to run the project in different profiles or environments or mission. If software company release the software product to multiple client organization, then keeping the setup ready for all those client organization becomes what? Big headache for the software company. Suppose if the service project one client organization, somehow we can manage boss. Suppose my software company developing Tally kind of accounting software. or some other product, software product. Software product will be released to one organization or lots of organization. Okay, lots of. But going to every organization and keeping the setup ready is going to be very, very complex or not, guys? Is going to be very, very headache a task or not, my dear? Think in that angle, my dear. Going to be very, very headache process or my dear? Come on, everyone. Convinced with me or not, my dear? Okay, that's great. If software company releases the software product to multiple client organization, then keeping the setup ready for all those client organization becomes biggest headache for what? Software company. To solve these problems, take the support of what? Containerization using Docker tool. Where code and environment will be packed. Where the code and environment will be packed. Code and environment will be packed. Life with Docker. Docker automates environment or profile setup process by concept called containerization, which perform code and environment packing. Try to understand, guys. Host OS, regular Windows, Linux, whatever it is. On the top of Docker container engine runs. So there, development container, code and environment is packed. Test container, code and environment is packed. UAT container, code and environment is packed. Irrespective of what is that client organization operating system. Okay, the code won't run on host OS. The code runs on what? Docker container, and this Docker container is capable of executing what? The given code in the environment that is there in the container itself. In the environment that is there in the container. Without worrying about what is the OS of the host. Check it out. Host OS, container, Docker container engine is there. Look at the development container. In this one, Windows is there. Tomcat is there. That means whatever project code is there, that will run within the software that is there in Docker container itself, right? Is nowhere related to what? Host operating system and host softwares, right? So that means if I move this Docker container to n number of machine, everywhere all I need to arrange is what? Docker engine. There is no need of arranging softwares, right, my dear? Convinced or not? 1 minute. I created Docker container having what? Code and environment. Everything is there. I moved to mission 1. In mission 1, there was no need of arranging separate environment because container only itself having environment. But to recognize that environment, to make code executing that environment, there also Docker required. Na? So without Docker engine, do you think Docker container will work out, guys? Without Docker engine, do you think Docker engine will work out, guys? Will not work. Are you understanding my statement, my dear? Come on. So that's why wherever you move Docker container, by just having Docker engine, we can execute the code within the Docker container supplied software itself or not there. Host OS will change based on the setup of our profile. But okay, Docker container will have its own OS, its own server, its own database. It's no way depend upon what? The host OS managed softwares and what? Operating systems. I hope you are understanding my statement, guys. Okay. Docker containerization. Okay. front-end component, back-end component, database software, libraries. This is code, guys. This is the setup, operating system, virtual machine, servers, database software, and number of things. Okay, these are what? OS level infrastructure. This is project level code, guys. Come on. Right. Okay, now what is the logo of Dagger, guys? A small ship carrying multiple things. What is that? What are those multiple things? No. They're containers, no doubt. But what each container represent? Not just code, not just software. It representing code plus software setup or not, guys. It is representing code plus software setup or not, guys. Docker logo is a ship carrying components indicating Docker makes code environment. Code plus environment as what? Easable, shippable, easily shippable. Shippable means what? Transferable. Code plus environment. Nothing bad. Docker containers. Docker containers which holds code plus environment. What, guys? Docker container which hold code plus environment are easily shippable or portable across the multiple machines. Across the multiple machines. Next one. When we move Docker container to any machine, that machine just need to have Docker software or engine. That machine just need to have Docker software or engine. Are you getting my point? That machine just need to have Docker software or what? Engine. Okay, that's good. So that the Docker container managed code can be executed in the, what is this? Docker can be executed in the software setup of Docker container itself. Container of Docker software setup itself. Are you getting my point there, guys? Once we keep project code plus environment setup in Docker container, we can make that container working in any machine, having any OS for any developer or what end user. So once software company created Tally, along with the Tally code, the required software setup, they packed into Docker container. So release Docker container to any client organizations. Super, guys? Okay. Any client or any client. If they install just Docker there, everywhere the code runs or not, guys? Everywhere the code runs or not, my dear? Come on. Super. Docker passes the statement to programmers, developer. You just keep application code ready because Docker itself arranges what? all software, OS and etc. that are required to execute what? Different profiles that are required to execute code in different profiles are what? Environment. That are required to execute code in what? Different profiles are what? Environment. Is it not interesting, my dear? Come on. Super. Docker passes the statement to programmer. Hey programmer, you just keep application code ready because Docker itself arranges all softwares, OS and etc. that are required to execute the code in what? Different profiles are what? Environment. What is Docker definition, guys? Docker is a tool or platform for packaging, deploying and running the application with what? Portability. It is for packaging. It can also for deploying, running the application with what? Portability. Main theme is packs code and environment into Docker container. And this Docker container can be executed any machine without worrying about software's arrangement. Okay, by just having Docker software in those machines. Are you getting my point there? Okay. Super, guys. Next one. Advantages with what? Docker. Docker enables the developers or DevOps team to separate our application code and process and the infrastructure hardware setup so that we can deliver software project quickly. Okay, now listen, guys. Application code and setup is packed, right? Okay, setup is packed. Now, whoever wants to receive, you just need to need to maintain hardware. Software part also you need not to bother are not there, guys. So that delivering of the project becomes very fastly, boss. Earlier, after releasing the code also to keep the setup ready 1 week time, then issues, then code runs. But now, you release the Docker container which contains code plus environment. Okay, by just arranging Docker in that machine, okay, or by getting Docker dynamically through Kubernetes or some other thing. Come on, guys, we can make things happening easily and fastly or not, guys. Docker packages software project and its environment into its units called Docker containers that we have that have everything that project needs to run, including what? Libraries, tools, code, and a runtime setup. So that means what? There is no need of arranging separately things in one destination machine. By using Docker style packaging, deployment, execution, and shipping, which is quick process and which reduce the time delay between what? Developing the code and what? Developing the code in dev environment, running the code in what? Prod environment. So which actually reduce the time now, my dear. Earlier what? Development, one setup is used, code is developed. Same setup should be arranged in test, then code should be tested. Same setup should be arranged in UAT, then code should be tested. Same setup should be arranged in what? Production and code should be tested, right? Everywhere the code should be tested or not, guys? Say something, my dear. I want deploy, my dear. Super. Docker container, project to code plus environment like OS, DB, JVM, server, libraries and etc. Libraries and what? Etc. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Docker container, project to code plus environment like OS, DB, JVM, server, libraries and what, etc. Guys, convinced, my dear, or not there? Super, guys. Okay, next one. Docker architecture, high level. Okay, boss. Now listen. What need to be packed, which code need to be packed, which software need to be packed, we specify in the Docker file. By using build command, Okay, we get the Docker image. This is the planning of the package. When you run the Docker image, come on. When we run the Docker image, we will get a Docker container. What guys? We will get a Docker container, which is having what? Active instance which represents code plus environment. Array, Docker file is the input file having what you want to pack, which application you want to pack, which softwares you want to pack. Okay, actually, now listen carefully. Actually, in this file, I need JDK. Already some Docker images are there in the market representing JDK. I need a Tomcat. Some Tomcat images are there in the market. All these things we mentioned now, boss. Having all predefined images and our application code that is required to run the application, one new Docker image is created or not there. When we run that Docker image, come on. When we run the Docker image, a Docker container will be created or not, guys? When we run the Docker image, new Docker container will be created or not? Code plus environment packing takes place. What takes place? Code plus environment packing takes place. Okay, guys. Code plus environment packing, which is nothing but instance of image, Docker image, right? So from Docker image, Docker container is there. Array, very simple, boss. We create user-defined packages by mentioning predefined packages code and our code. The Docker file is like that. Okay, there we mention predefined images and our application code or anything. Based on that planning, a new Docker image is created. But all these things will be will come into reality when you go for what? Docker content. So Docker image is a planning. For that planning, inputs are given, taken from what? Docker file. It's like a Spring Bean configuration file giving instruction to what? IOC contain. Okay, so Docker image is the planning. Okay, for that planning, inputs are collected from Docker file. When you run that plan, you will get what? Docker container, which actually contains what? Code plus images, which really contains the real code plus what? Images. Okay, listen. You have a project one. To run that project one, database Oracle is required, JDK is required. Okay. First, what I say, in Docker file, I say take project one code, take what? JDK Docker image, which is readily available. Come on, guys. Take Oracle image that is readily available. We mention all those stuff, right? Yeah, by taking when we build this Docker file, one new image is created having what? Code plus images planning. When you run that plan, you will get Docker container where things are really packed. So that means this is instructions for planning. Here planning is reality, and what is that? Based on the plan, okay, things are ready in Docker container. So what we move to other machine, Docker image or Docker container? Docker container. Which we run in other machines and various machines, Docker container. So Docker file, Docker image at planning stage only. They are at planning stage only. Okay, I can put like this, guys, for understanding. On paper planning Docker file. Okay, later we prepare one miniature, building miniature. Suppose some company wants to build 50 floors high-rise apartment, right? First, they put on the paper. Once they get the clarity what they are building, they try to prepare one 3D image miniature. Come on. 3D image miniature they build or not, guys? Okay. So, based on that miniature as a reference, they try to build what? A real tower or not, guys? By taking 4 years time, 5 years time, a real tower will be created or not, guys? Okay, that's why For understanding purpose, can I say building plan on paper? It is like building plan on paper. Yes. Building plan, building plan as building plan as miniature. What is there? Building plan as a miniature. He left the meeting. Are you left? I have to type something here. Okay. Next boss. Real building. Dot left the meeting. What is your name, Sra Babu? Okay. Real building. Are you understanding my basic thing, guys? From Docker file, we prepare Docker image. In that one, lot of other images and our project code also will be. When we run this new Docker image, what happens, guys? Docker container will come in which active code and active softwares will be there. And when we move to any mission in which Docker software is ready, we can run the container to execute the application in the environment that is packed into the Docker container or not there. Super, guys. We release Docker containers to what missions, guys? Different missions. Different missions. To execute the code. To execute the code of Docker container. To execute the code of Docker container in the environment or setup that is there in the Docker container itself. After all, what is there? After all, what is there? Docker container maintains what is there, guys? Both code and guys. Okay, both code and environment. Both code and environment. Are you getting my point there, guys? Super. Main components of Docker architecture. Number one, Docker file. Set of instruction to build a Docker image. Docker image package which contains planning of source code and what? Environment package. Docker registry. The registry where Docker images are what? Available. Example, Docker Hub, AWS, ECR and etc. When you create new images, you can keep in Docker Hub. Docker registry. Ready-made JDK software, Tomcat, they are ready-made softwares, right? They're already there as what? Docker images. And while creating new image, you can use the existing images support. Docker is all about container, code plus environment packing. Environment means softwares, right? If the softwares are not there as ready-made images, how we can get them packed in the creation of new image? Or if some predefined classes are not there in packages, how we can develop the new classes by using the existing classes code, right? That's why while creating new packages, new APIs, we'll try to take the support of what? Already available APIs or not, guys? Yeah, that's great. Next one is what? Docker client. an implicit component in the Docker tool or software who is actually responsible to execute the Docker command. A small command prompt kind of thing where we execute the Docker command. So when you, by giving Docker file, when you run build command, Docker image will come. When you run the run command on Docker image, you will get a Docker container. You will definitely get what container, guys? Docker container. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Come on, everyone. Yeah. Main components of Docker architecture. Docker file, which contains instruction to create a Docker image which contains the source code and software packing, Docker registry. Okay, when you create new images, they are registered. Already available images also registered there. Come on. Next what? We got a Docker container built from Docker image, which actually contains what? Real code plus environment packing. And instance of Docker image using which we can run our application code in certain environment or profile that is specified in Docker image. Docker client, guys, to do all these things, we need some setup. Okay. We need some setup, that is Docker client. Within the Docker software is a built-in one where we can pass the commands. Keeping Docker desktop software ready in our what? Windows OS. We have to keep Docker desktop software ready. Okay, now listen, guys. Gather system requirement for installing Docker desktop on Windows by going to this URL or not, guys. Yeah, what is required, guys? LL2 backend this one, Hyper-V backend this one, LL2 backend this one. So these many things are required or not required. WL version this, Windows 10 64-bit. So entire specification is given or not given. Okay, in this URL, just what is required to install Docker is specified. Nothing else. What is required to install Docker is specified and nothing else. Is only requirement specification is given. Okay. Right. Make sure that Windows subsystem for Linux. That means within the Windows Linux setup will come, guys. Make sure that WSL2. WSL2 means what? WSL2. Windows subsystem for Linux. Windows subsystem for Linux is ready and Hyper-V installed in the computer and it is what? Restarted. Okay, that's great. In Windows search bar, search for what? Search for turn on Windows feature on and off. There select Hyper-V and Windows subsystem for Linux checkboxes and OK installation process. Once everything is over, restart the computer. In my system, I think they are already installed. Okay. In my system, they are already installed. So, but I'll show the procedure and I'll make sure that these are there. I'll make sure that these are there in my system, guys. Yeah, tell me here. Why all these softwares? WSL will provide Linux setup in Windows. Hyper-V is what? One kind of driver. Okay, to run Docker in Windows, right? Okay. Let me add 2 points. Note. WSL2 provides, what is this? Linux setup in Windows OS. In Windows. Linux setup in Windows OS where we can execute the command. where we can execute the Linux command. Linux and Docker commands. Linux and Docker command. Next. What is the next one? Hyper-V. Hyper-V acts as, listen, I connected printer, you open Painter or you open what? MS Word, kept one image or text and pressed print button. Do you think printer will give printout, guys? Do you really think printer will give printout, guys? No. Printer will not give printout. Why printer will not give printout, my dear? Why printer will not give printout, guys? Come on, I want reply, my dear. Yeah, printer will not give printout because printer connected physically. MS Word also there, okay. But to understand printer instructions to OS instruction to printer, there is a bridge software called printer driver. If that is not installed, do you think communication happens between our computer operating system and printer device, my dear? Okay, that means printer drivers are required to install or not, guys? You just installed OS, but colors are not coming smoothly. Then you have to drive graphics drivers are not there. Between Java and database software also we need JDBC driver are not there. So Hyper-V is the driver software to install, okay, to make Docker compatible with what? Windows OS. To make Docker compatible with what? Windows OS. We have to think about working with what software, guys? Hyper-V software, right? Hyper-V is Windows supplied software, driver software to make Docker software compatible with Windows OS. Compatible with Windows OS. Okay. But first of all, let me show how to install it. Search for turn on Windows features on and off. Turn on Windows feature on and off. Hyper-V is there. WSL2 is there. Windows subsystem for Linux, guys, come on. Okay, in my system already installed. Okay, when first time you select the check boxes, when you click on OK button, it will take time for installation. In that process, you are forced to restart the OS. Then only those two softwares will be recognized. Otherwise, those two softwares will not be recognized. Otherwise, those two softwares will not be recognized. Got it, guys? Okay. So how to confirm WSL2 is installed in my system? No need of doing anything great. Yeah. Actually, Docker, Kubernetes, all these are designed by keeping Linux, AWS virtual machines in mind. Okay. But all developers are preferring to work with Windows now. Now all of a sudden I cannot create those setups. Okay, na? So it's very difficult for you people. That's why what I am doing. Okay, in Windows only I am trying to bring the effect of what? Linux. By taking the support of what? WSL. Windows Subsystem for Linux. What is that, guys? Windows Subsystem for Linux. Yeah, tell me, guys. WSL-version. Okay, that this is Cummins what WSL is active WSL-status. Default distribution Docker desktop. Default version is what? 2. The first time when you select them, it takes time to install and it will and they will be effectively applied only when you restart the computer. Yeah. Download Docker desktop for Windows and install it. Docker desktop. Some software guys, Windows checksum, right? Yes. From there, Docker desktop installer.exe. Install this one and after completion of installation, again you have to restart the computer. Okay, na? Again you have to restart the computer. Current desktop in this system is already there now, boss. Because I already installed it, right? Okay. To get the feeling, I have installed freshly and this one. Okay. Control panel. Uninstall program. Okay. What is there, guys? Docker desktop. It is there now, boss. Uninstall. I want to install in front of you people freshly. Uninstall successfully, guys. Yeah, it's gone now. Okay. Go to which place? Docker desktop. Docker desktop. So yeah, same process will be there. You search for Docker for Mac OS, some process will come, follow it. Okay. Please don't be what is that? Safalia. Don't be innocent. Yes, this has come now, my dear. Yes. Where is the software to install? Download Docker. Docker desktop release notes. Docker desktop release notes. Where is that software, guys? Where is the setup file? Setup file. They are telling everything, but except that setup file, they are giving everything. Mm-hmm. Install this Docker desktop release notes. Yeah, is there na? In release notes hyperlink that is there. Windows checksum. It is coming there. Yeah, this is darker desktop now. Darker desktop. Tell me here. We are trying to install Docker software here, boss. Say yes. Configuration auto allow Windows container to use the. Okay, not required. Installation is going on. Guys, concentrate on current topic. Why are you bringing MVC over here? Problem is there in Tomcat URL. In the project URL, project name is not there, sir, but I am adding project name. It's only slash home. Prakash, if it is embedded server, context path is not required unless until you give it. That is a basic thing, na? In external only context path is required. In external server only, it's related to Spring Boot, don't worry. See, Mr. Prakash, first we have run without context path. Then in application.property, we have given context path, then we executed. You did not follow that properly. We have to give context path. In external server, context path is not ready. Did I unnecessarily uninstall, guys? It's wasting time. Why it is taking this much time? Yes. Tomorrow is Friday only, na? Why it is not irregular? It's tomorrow. Any special day tomorrow? Any Friday special day, na? Okay, we are ready with what? Docker softwares. We are ready with the WSL. This done, boss. Okay, we need to restart the computer, but right now, if I restart meeting ID will be disturbed, right? Okay, we'll see that. Without restarting, we'll see. Create an account in Dhakara.com before launching the desktop tool. So I think I have account in Dhakara.com already. I might have created Dhakara.com. Dhakara.com. That's sign in. Natraz Docker is the account I created. I hope password will be taken nicely and automatically. Okay, that's good. Super. Right. Launch Docker desktop. That's fine. We are ready with one account now, my dear. Super. Okay, now let's go for Docker desktop here. Let's go for Docker desktop. Yeah. We accept terms and conditions, boss. We accept terms and conditions. It's for personal usage only. Natraz Java Arena at gmail.com. Continue. Verified, yes. What's happening, guys? Yeah. If not there, it will create a new account. If there, it uses the existing account. Natraz Java Arena. Oh, Docker.com. So I think I have to use same story what is used earlier. Huh? 1 minute then. 1 minute then. Stop this. This is not right. Where is this? Natraz Docker. Email address is what? Natraz Docker. Natraz Docker. Say okay. Wrong password. What is the account, guys? Docker.com. What is there? Docker.com. Sign in. Natraz Docker. Username or email address. Continue. Okay, continue. That's good. Launch Docker desktop from here. Okay, open link. Number one, containerization. Download Docker desktop. There's no need of downloading. Already I launched it, right? I don't know. Using Docker for work, we recommend sign in from your work email address. Okay. Natraz Docker. Continue. Okay. Continue. Proceed to Docker desktop. Proceed to Docker desktop. Proceed and not proceed. Yes. Okay. Welcome survey. Full stack developer. Okay. Deploying applications. Local development. Yeah. We are ready with this, guys. Okay. We are ready with Docker. This. Super, guys. What is Docker container? How do you run a container? Some basic videos are there. Fine. No problem. Okay. Ask Jordan is one AI boss. It will help you. It will give list of Docker container. It will show all the Docker images. Volumes are another concept. Builds are another concept. Like this. Docker Hub. It is connecting to Docker Hub. Okay. A number of things are there. So we are ready with the Docker or not there. But how to check this Docker is ready or not? Okay. Super, guys. Launch Docker desktop tool. Execute the following commands on the command prompt to check. Okay, to confirm Docker desktop installation. Docker -1 version. Go to any command prompt, guys. Go to any command prompt. Tell me. Docker -1 version. Docker version 28. Something is coming. Docker -info. Information. Oh, it's giving error. Oh. Okay, Docker info. That's it. No need of anything else. Docker info. So we are getting the information or not, guys? Read BPS not supported. Warnings. Daemon is not using default second comp file, but it's giving basic information about that. Architecture, this root directory, Docker lib folder, debug mode false. A number of details about the current Docker has come are not there. Okay, boss, that's good. Anyhow, we need everything as a fresh copy only. Docker info has come. Docker search JDK. Array, I want to search for already available Docker images, boss. Already available Docker images. Okay. And I said, Tomcat, Oracle, MySQL, all these are JDK, all these softwares are already there in what? Docker Hub, nothing but Docker registry. As ready-made images are not, guys. Simply as the ready-made images, I want reply, guys. Okay, tell me. Where is this? Docker search. Docker search JDK. So, sign, guys. Different people have kept different JDK softwares here. Docker search. Open JDK. Recent versions are coming with what? Open JDK. A lot of Open JDK softwares are there or not there, guys? Okay. Docker search, Tomcat. Lot of Tomcat softwares are there. All these are readily available images. And if you want, you can search based on the version also. Docker search JDK 21. JDK 21. Having JDK 21, multiple images are there. Okay, Docker search. What is there? Open JDK. What, guys? Open JDK 21. Many things are there or not there, my dear. So that means there are ready-made images representing predefined softwares. So when you create Docker file, Okay, in that one, planning of creating Docker image, I can use one of the existing images. I can specify my application code location. All those things will become one more new image. That image also I can keep in Docker Hub so that other people can use that image. Okay, whoever wants to really pack that code, they will run the Docker image, they get the Docker container, they move the Docker container to other machine wherever they want to run. They move the Docker container to other machine wherever they want to run. Okay, boss. Right. Like this, we can search for any image of your choice, guys. You can search. But if you want, you can do same searching in the desktop environment also. So look at this dark images, search images to run, search images to run. You search for what? JDK. Okay, we are getting all the JDKs are not there. Okay. Any containers with the name of JDKs not there. Images means available, right? Okay. Images. Open JDK. What is there? Open JDK. 50 plus Open JDK images are there or not there? Images are there or not there, boss? Open JDK. Open JDK. Okay. Next one, Aracle. Aracle 11. So many Aracle 11 images are there. Different people kept different images or not, my dear? Okay, MySQL 50 plus images are there or not there? Okay, but containers will not be there. Container means what? From images, containers will be created. So, actually using all these images, we create user-defined images. From there, we create the containers. But are we creating any containers so far, guys? No. Some images are there in Docker registry, they are available when you search. But did we create any container by having planning of user defined images? By having what? Okay. Planning of user defined images, guys, not there. Okay. Right. Software update, no restart is required. It is asking me to what? Update the software. Okay, just now have installed, but it's saying that something can be updated. Fine, boss. We can search for the ready-made what guys? Docker images. The ready-made Docker images. Either in what is there, guys? Docker either from command prompt using Docker commands, command prompt using the commands as shown above, using the commands as shown above, or we can do the same search. What search, guys? Same search in the GUI screens of Docker desktop. Docker desktop. Okay, that's good. Now have a look. General. Oh, it is gone to settings. Don't go to setting. This is the screen. Here is what? Images screen. Docker Hub and what? Repositories. Locally, no images. Did I create any images today? Did I create any images today? No. But in dockerhub.com, so many images, repositories are there now, boss. Here you type OpenJDK. What happened? Open JDK. Oh, what happened? Acha. Docker container, local. And just now we got lot of images now, boss. Yeah, search. Search images to run. Here we have to search. Okay, here, what are the images to search, guys? Open JDK. There are so many images are there or not there, guys? Yeah, we can keep our images in Docker Hub so that others can use it. That's why it's open source environment. What environment, guys? Open source. Yeah. Open Docker desktop. Go to images section. What section? Go to images section, right, boss? Go to images section. What is there? Search for what, guys? Go to images section, search for what is there? Open Docker desktop set. Go to images section. Search for what? Open JDK. What that? Search for Open JDK. Search for Open JDK. Image section. Search images to run. Okay. Okay, search for images. Search for image like what is there? OpenJDK, MySQL, Oracle. What is there? Oracle, Tomcat, and etc. Tomcat and etc. Anything of your choice can be taken, my dear? Yes. Okay. Fine. So with this, the Docker introduction is done, boss. So what's the final conclusion? Life without Docker. What is the life without Docker? See, there are two problems. Majorly remember this. Forget about remaining kachra. Service sector project in will be developed and deployed by keeping in different setups. Development, testing, UAT, pre-production, this. Every time keeping different machines, keeping different same setup for multiple time is very difficult process, right? That's why if you go for a Docker, only one time we keep this everything ready. We pack into Docker container. To all the people we release Docker container. So no need of arranging setup separately in what every place. There's a one thing. Once we develop the software product, we sell to n number of clients. And going to every client place and keeping the software setup ready for them is very, very difficult, right? So if we can release Docker container and their Docker container happily executes by just arranging Docker in their computer or not this. So like this, our code becomes more portable compared to old days or not there, guys. Then what about Kubernetes, sir? And once these Docker containers came, increasing number of containers, reducing number of container, deploying these containers, okay na, scheduling these containers, when has to be executed, when they need to be executed, when count has to be increased, the count has to be decreased. Okay, if servers are there, because to run the container, we need to deploy them, okay, in proper setup, right? Okay, those things, all these things are taken care by whom, guys? Kubernetes. Kubernetes automates, okay? Docker container deployment, Docker container auto scaling, Docker container scheduling, Docker container other things. Come on. All these things, okay, automation is done. You need not to run Docker container manually. If you give to Kubernetes, by creating more instances or reducing less instances at particular time or respective time, it will run automatically. Understanding?
Sir,
Okay, guys. Now, K8S is officially not there in your syllabus, but I'm trying to teach K8S from this batch onwards, right? Okay. Earlier, I have knowledge in what? Linux setup. K8S, that means Kubernetes. Okay. Earlier, I have knowledge in what? Linux and AWS setup. But for developer perspective, I have to convert entire knowledge to what? To Windows. I'm working out all the possibilities. If everything goes smoothly, okay. After Docker tool, okay, I will take what? Kubernetes. If not happen, next Saturday, Sunday, or next Friday, Saturday, I will conduct session on what? Kubernetes, right? Okay. Right, boss. Let's stop the session here. Tomorrow when we meet, first we try to automate, we try to make code and environment of standalone application. Then we try to pack one code and environment of web application. We will see one standalone application, Docker containerization, and one web application, Docker containerization. Clear, my dear? Super, boss. Okay. Please, this. Where is this? Saturday class is there. As of now, officially class is there. If needed, I will give holiday. But tomorrow class is there. Saturday class, I will let you know tomorrow, right? Okay. Where is this tool we are looking for? DevSecOps. Acha, two things I want to announce before I wind up today's session. Number one, while installing Jenkins, you have to select JDK software, but you should have a full installation of JDK. Full installation means the one that is having bin directory and other folders. Okay? Otherwise, it won't go further. Number two, apply every job, get the calls, go to interview. After taking interview or while taking interview, you pay 1 lakh rupee, you pay 2 lakh rupee. Okay. And we will pay monthly salary of 6,000, 10,000, 6 months training period. You tell to them, we had lot of training already, no more training. No, 1,500, that is a small cheating. Some people will do like this also, right? See, first bunch of students will pay 1 lakh. They get salary for 4 or 5 months. By seeing these people, other bunch of students will join. By seeing them, other bunch of students will join. First two benches, somehow they recover their 1 lakh rupee, or at least 50% of it. But last bunch of people will be cheated. One day it will turn down the software. They will turn down the board, right? So listen, always think logically, use brain. What kind of brain? If company is having project, okay, they will get money from client and that money they pay to developers as a salary, right? So that's why no need of taking money from job seekers. Okay, company not having project, that's why they are taking money. What you will do in the company, in which project is not there, what you will learn? You spend that time here, you will learn few more technology, your profile becomes strong. Getting my point there are use brain, right? And some people will say, we'll show you job, pay 1500, pay 2000. Okay, they are very intelligent people. They don't take money from single person. They collect 1500 like this from what? 10,000 people, 20,000 people, so that no one takes that problem as a serious issue. You tell them, I will give 1 month salary, but not now. First show me job. Okay, show me job, let me survive in the company. 3rd month salary is yours. How much I get, how 3rd month salary is yours. If anyone is genuine to show job, he will agree for your proposal. What is the proposal? Show me job. Okay, I am ready with the subject. You show me job. I will clear interview. You show me job. 3rd month salary is yours. 99% they say it is not our company policy. It is not how this is not going to work out. All this stuff. See, boss. In India, still you have to apply a job to get the job. If someone says without giving interview you have ready with a job or we will show job means what? Something is wrong. Something is not correct. You have to think like that, right? Okay. And moreover, there are some people who says we will show backdoor opportunity, pay that much, this much, all this stuff. Okay. Backdoor opportunities will be good as long as that HR, that project manager in the company. Or if the scams comes out, everyone becomes silent, you will be removed. Moreover, without subject, you go backdoor or front door, you have to work. Na? So that's why don't spend money for backdoor opportunities also. If not 3 months, let's take 4 months. If not 4 months, wait for 6 months. If this is not working, try to show gap as experience, but don't get into the trap. And as I continuously saying, first 10 interviews, please go to job as if you are not going to get the job. Be mentally prepared. You will be rejected. You will be rejected. Then pressure will not be there. In first job only, if you feel I'm going to get the job, you will feel pressure and you will get into depression. And in life, you might have rejected so many proposals, so many people, right? So now let's take few rejections. You will become mentally strong person. Yes or no? Na? Right. Thank you. They asked me to deposit 1 lakh in account as bond. What to do, sir? Are which account? Your account or their account? Their account means how it is your account. Right? Okay. Don't deposit. Don't deposit. All these are fake. Right. Thank you, guys.